I like eating waffles for breakfast, but my lips just feel sticky the rest of the day, or like dry.
Do you use maple syrup?
Yeah.
Only thing I hate about making breakfast in the morning with maple syrup is it makes the house stink like breakfast the entire rest of the day.
Does it?
Yeah, like maple syrup, bacon.
Bacon for sure. I do not know how to cook bacon without just like blowing smoke throughout my entire apartment.
Right, and then you get that old maple syrup smell that I can always smell. And it like gets in under your fingers.
But you also hate breakfast.
I'm not a breakfast guy, and that's part of the reason. It's because of the smell.
Unless it's a holiday hash brown.
Yes, that's the only thing I like.
There's not a lot of eggs being cooked on your stove.
No, I don't. I've never bought a carton of eggs in my entire life.
That's such bullshit. Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You've never bought I guess you said even your family doesn't make eggs.
My dad likes them, doesn't love them.
You just grew up without eggs around the house?
I mean, there was eggs in the house because my mom would bake all the time, but even my brother doesn't like eggs either.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I gotta put you guys onto some good eggs.
No.
I'll make a good omelet for you guys.
Speaking of eggs.
Speaking of eggs, happy National Surprise Drug Test Day, you fucking stoners.
Oh boy.
You're being called to HR right now. But before you go there, welcome back to the Goose Egg Sports Podcast, which is the best podcast to listen to while parallel parking. I'm your host, Matt, a.k.a. Poor Buddy Quan, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Jerrod, a.k.a. Eric Slapton. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Do you have a hangover for 420?
Oh, God. So much weed consumed yesterday. Tons of dabs, tons of gravity bongs hit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of one pieces.
Do you think pizza deliveries are up on 420? Like
Absolutely.
For like Pizza Hut and all that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know in Dinkytown in Minneapolis, there's a lot of places where you were not allowed to request 420 off. Like Insomnia Cookies, you're not allowed to request 420 off.
Really?
Yeah, because it's their busiest day of the year. And then they also are probably like, no one needs 420 off. We know exactly what you're doing.
Right, yeah. That's right. Unless it's your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's a special exception or something like that.
Right.
I don't mean to slander Insomnia Cookies corporate practices.
Right.
But I just thought that was really funny.
It's like, oh, okay, you're not taking Hitler's birthday off. You're coming in.
you're coming into work.
Right. Yeah.
I wonder if any other random businesses get a spike on 420. Do you think leading
dispensaries?
Yeah, obviously. Do you think leading up to it, Ziploc baggies gets a pretty big spike? Like,
I'm sure they do.
Like in April.
Mm-hmm. Hacky sack sales, get a little spike in April.
I do know the CEO of Ziploc is one of the biggest supporters of not legalizing weed. And it makes sense because I think a big part of their business is probably people selling weed.
Yeah, but I think dispensaries still use Ziploc bags for whatever reason. I'm assuming.
Do they? I think they have their own bags.
This is all assumption, but
this is, of course, obviously.
But I mean, like when
not legal in the state of North Dakota, we would never know.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming for production wise, they would probably need some bags or something.
I'm sure they can cut out a deal.
Right, with Ziploc.
Yeah, join the future, people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Did you watch any NBA last night?
I watched a little bit.
Whilst you were blazing 420 weed.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Celtics game.
Yeah, that was the first one I wanted to talk about too. Are the Nets in trouble? They're down 2-0, and the Celtics look pretty damn good.
Celtics look great in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I can't believe
they close out games really well.
And they just get a spark when they're at home, especially. And their defense is awesome to watch. It's like watching a great college basketball defense. They're just all over the court, all over the ball.
It's so weird because I thought when Brad Stevens left the coaching position that they were kind of going to be done. Because Brad Stevens was 2 years ago, he was the Sean McVay of the NBA. Mm-hmm. Genius, young head coach. And then out of nowhere, he kind of just stepped down, and now he's the VP or GM or something like that.
Yeah, he's more front office.
Yeah, and now that's given the team new life. Jason Tatum is continuing to become a superstar. He's always on those best players under 24 list. I think he still will be for another 2 years. He's really young.
For another 20 years, will be the best under 24.
Pretty much.
He just doesn't age.
Yeah, I'm shocked they've been able to slow down Kyrie and pretty much stop Durant for as long as they have.
Did you see Kyrie got food because it was Ramadan was over during the game?
Did he?
Yeah.
God, good for him. I don't know how he does that. All personal gripes that anyone has with Kyrie aside, the fact that he's able to play NBA playoff games without eating or drinking.
Yeah, and you have to go back and play the game. So what would you pick to eat?
That's a tough one.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm also... Boston, the Garden isn't going to have a lot of great food options. What are you going to go get a chicken strip basket?
With ranch.
See Kyrie Irving on the sideline eating just shitty stadium nachos, picking the jalapenos out.
Right.
Because he asked specifically for no jalapenos, but they're like, fuck you, you're Kyrie Irving.
Right. Yeah, we're going to put extra jalapenos on.
Because I'm sure you wouldn't just want to do like a protein bar. I'm sure you want like an actual meal.
I'd probably do something safe like a pretzel, something kind of
a pretzel would
carby.
That's a good one.
Yeah, nothing too greasy.
Does any stadium sell any form of salad?
Yeah, I think US Bank does.
Do they? I don't think I've ever seen a salad in a sporting stadium.
Yeah, but they're hella expensive, obviously.
Yeah. It's probably one of those like third-party vendors who have their own things.
But I'm sure you could find like a burrito bowl at like some of those novelty concessions.
That's true. I think a burrito bowl is what I would go with.
Right.
But even that's a little risky.
Right. No hot sauce.
You don't want a rumbly tummy in the basketball court.
No, yeah. You don't want to be farting off the bench.
No, definitely not. Are you enjoying the Kyrie Irving villain saga? Where do you stand on that?
I don't know. What is really going on with it? The villain saga.
It's basically him just talking shit back to fans and like flipping.
Oh, the flipping off thing.
Yep.
I saw that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
I am too. If fans are gonna talk shit, they need to get talked shit back to. Because if I was a player, you would not be able to stop me from just yelling out how broke everyone in the stands is. If I was a multi-million-dollar basketball player and one of the best people in the world at what I do, you think I'm just gonna sit there and let you call me a bitch?
Right. And I'm sure it's worse. I'm sure it's way worse than that too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I talk too much shit now, and it's not justified whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. I think he's justified with doing it.
Absolutely.
It's part of the game and makes the game more interesting. Shows more of a emotion from the player aspect of it.
I mean, every player wants to do it, I'm sure. And the fact that he's like actually doing it, I think is sick. And I think it's what the fans kind of want too, in a weird way.
Right. Yeah. It's just like kind of feed into each other.
I mean, especially in Boston, I don't think anyone's going to be writing like a public letter to Kyrie Irving that they flipped him off.
Right. Yeah.
They know what this is.
Yeah. It's every day for Boston.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, Kyrie would fit right in Boston.
Yeah, he should go there.
Yeah. Yeah. Next season, just go to Boston.
Oh, that would be a warm welcome for him for sure. You think the Nets are going to be fine, or do you think the Celtics are going to win this series?
I don't know. I think Boston might win it.
I think this is a must-win game 3 for sure for Brooklyn.
And they play tomorrow night, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, on Friday.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, it's probably the most fun series to watch right now.
Definitely.
I'd agree. Yeah, I think the Celtics pull it off. I think they're just too well coached. A lot of depth.
I think so too. I think we're gonna look back at the ending of game 1, that last second buzzer beater on that broken play, and that might have been. It's stupid to say a turning point of a series that early on, but that might have been. They stole that win.
Right. Yeah. Just busted it out real quick.
Yeah. So I think Boston wins, but I think the Nets bring it to 7. I'm not entirely sure though.
I'd say 6 or 7. Yeah, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, the Nets kind of have to play perfectly from here on out to figure it out, and that's a tough ask. The other games last night, we had the Sixers versus the Raptors. We can breeze through this one. I think the Sixers are just a better team.
Embiid is on fire.
He is, and they just get to the free throw line so much more than any other team. Before last night, they were plus 16 in free throw makes in the series.
Plus 16?
Yeah. So they just get to the line way more. They're struggling. I know Thybulle's out for a bit, which is a big loss because he's a good defender, but the Raptors just don't have the firepower to keep up with them. Yeah. They need like Van Vliet and Siakam to have like their best games ever to even stand a chance.
Right. For like the Sixers to win in 6 or 7 games again.
Yeah. I think the Raptors maybe take one, but the Sixers are already taking one of the home games, so who knows?
Sorry, Raptors.
Yeah. Sorry, Drake.
Yeah.
He looked very sad at the game last night.
Well, wasn't he talking to Embiid last night?
Oh, yeah. He loves doing that.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure he'll be wearing a Sixers jersey next week. No, he'll just hop onto the Warriors bandwagon. That's always been his backup team.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. They got his backup teams not like the Houston Rockets or anything, or the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, thank God. He was smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
Drake, I've just decided he is literally the senior in high school who leads like the student section in the chants. Like he's like, guys, we gotta get there early.
Yeah.
He makes like his whole personality being the loud guy in the student section.
Yeah. Or he like comes up with the theme for the game.
Yep, exactly. Shoots out like the mass text, gets the Facebook group going. He's the one guy who like travels to the away games. It's like, bro, don't you guys have school right now? Like, did you really drive out to Rapid City for a women's basketball game, for a women's JV basketball game?
And he's always sitting in the front row or like standing in the front row.
Yep, but just being way too loud and like yelling to the refs for no reason.
And if one of the students is sitting in the student section, he's like, "Come on, stand up.
Get the fuck up, yo. This is to go to divisionals."
Yeah, come on. You're not hyped AF right now.
Yeah, and then he has to have a talking to with like the athletic director, like, yo, you gotta tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. Country night is getting a little too out of hand.
Oh my God, yeah, he goes way too hard out with the theme. Like for country night, he's wearing a flannel with no sleeves and walking in with a stick pony, like between his legs.
Or like there's like Hawaiian night.
He's drinking out of a Coke. He's drinking a Pepsi out of a coconut.
Yeah. He's got a Hawaiian shirt, flip flop.
His parents are in the crowd too, and they're talking to the other parents like, yeah, he just really likes having fun with it. We don't really know if school is his thing just yet.
Yeah, he might be a cheerleader. We don't know.
Yeah. Good on you, Drake, though. I hope you're ready to do the same thing for Golden State because your Raptors are about to be sent home.
Theme night.
Oh, brutal. And then the other game last night was Bulls versus Bucks, which the Bucks were kind of in control of this game the entire way, but the Bulls snuck out a win. So now the series is tied 1-1. For me, this whole series is just about if the Bulls can continue to find ways to score, because game one, they cannot score whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're obviously not as good of a team as the Bucks. So I think it's up to just LaVine and DeRozan to be superstars. I think the win last night was nice, but I don't think it lasts. I think the Bucks probably win this one and at most 6, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't really see any crazy upsets other than
the first round. There rarely is.
Right. Most interesting is probably the Nets. Celtics.
Yeah, and that wouldn't even be an upset technically because the Celtics are a better team in terms of seeding.
But that's like the one you can see the most likely to happen.
Yep.
Maybe Bulls, but I don't think so. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Tonight's games, we've got the Grizzlies versus the play-in champion Timberwolves. Series is tied 1-1. To me, this just feels like two very young playoff teams dealing with like the highs and lows of a playoff series.
Yeah.
Like I expected the Wolves to come out completely flat game one. That didn't happen. And then I knew for a fact they would come out flat game two, and that did happen.
Right.
The Grizzlies kind of had the same thing happen. It just feels like whichever team can remain calm enough will probably win this series. Like who could say the most level-headed? Yeah. Because they're trading shots on Instagram and Twitter a lot right now.
Oh, that's great.
Stuff like that. Love that. Did you see what Ja posted?
Was it, who was it? Michael Jordan?
Yeah, he posted like that clip from the MJ doc where they were down 1-0 in a series, and he's just like, I'm totally fine. Like, don't worry about us or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Grizzlies pull it off. I don't know.
I do too. I think tonight's probably a must win for the Wolves. They got to at least obviously win one of these at home. Mm-hmm. And I think the first one is the easier one to get stolen from you.
Right. Where's this game played?
This one's in Minneapolis tonight.
Oh, we going to go?
Fuck, I should have.
We still can.
The tickets to I heard from a friend that the tickets to the Grizzlies game 2 nights ago was $22 you could get some for.
Really?
Yeah, which surprised. I just don't think there's a big like basketball crowd in Memphis.
Yeah, and also could be like a last minute ticket sale thing too.
It probably was.
Right, a little mix of both.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the tickets for the Timberwolves game tonight are really cheap too, like in Minneapolis.
That'd probably be like $50, I bet.
Probably. I was at the last playoff game in Target Center when they were playing against the Rockets and just got smoked.
What was that?
That was that Jimmy Butler year.
Oh, yeah.
And as I left, I was like, this might have been the last ever playoff game in Target Center because I thought for sure, because I think the next year A-Rod bought the team, I thought for sure he was going to move him. And he still probably will.
And then you ripped your seat out of the Target Center to remember it.
I should have. Or just like pick some of the foam. Just have a handful of foam. Like how in the Metrodome they were selling like turf or whatever. I could just have a handful of seat foam.
From the Target Center.
Just take a big bite out of it. Disgusting.
You.
All right. The other game tonight, we got Mavericks versus Jazz. I don't think we know when Luka is coming back.
This is a guaranteed Mavericks win tonight.
You think?
This is my guarantee of
lock of the
week.
Why that?
I just think the Mavericks, they're hitting their pace.
Okay.
They'll play a little harder without Luka, and they'll pull off the W.
Well, the series is tied 1-1, which it probably shouldn't be, considering Luka hasn't played yet. Donovan Mitchell plays so much hero ball
Yeah.
And I love hero ball. That's like probably how I play basketball.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't look as good unless it is like a Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant. There's just like probably only 3 or 4 people in history that make hero ball look good.
Yeah, it's hero or zero ball.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you think the Mavericks are a lock tonight?
Yeah.
I think probably the Jazz. The Jazz are also playing for their team's life. If the Jazz lose this series, they're for sure all getting traded away, probably.
Right. But I think the Mavericks will win, and then the head coach will come on and say, this one was for Luka.
For when he went down with that calf strain, it really just inspired the entire team.
The confetti will be flying. This one's for Luka. This is what we did it for.
And Luka's just sitting there, not any crutches or anything like that. He's like, oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. Just sitting there in jeans and a t-shirt.
Right. And they'll carry him off the court.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
Shit, I left my foam roller back there. Can one of you grab that for me?
Ow.
Ow, guys, gentle. All right.
Castrate.
We got another series to play.
So yeah, I think they'll have their Rudy moment tonight.
Okay.
For Luka.
I like it.
Yeah.
The last game for tonight is Warriors versus Nuggets. This just feels like the last stand for the Nuggets.
Yeah, it's getting bad. I didn't expect that either. I thought it'd be more of a fight.
I did too, and maybe they'll be able to find a way tonight. This is their first one at home.
Yeah, that's true.
But are the Warriors the favorites in the Western Conference going forward? Because Devin Booker might be out for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this Jordan Poole guy came from. I haven't been paying too much attention in the regular season, but he's like the talk of NBA Twitter right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's having a good year. I would say Warriors are a front runner. I put a future on the Warriors a while ago.
I should have.
To win it.
They look really good right now. I mean, if you could argue that Steph Curry is like your second best player right now. I'm not saying Jordan Poole is a better player than Steph Curry, but he's playing better right now. Yeah.
Right.
And if you have that as your option, you're doing pretty good.
Right.
They have a lineup that they do. It's Steph, Clay, Poole, Wiggins, and Draymond. And those are all like really decent shooters. They like spread the floor out really well. It's definitely not as close to what they had when they did KD. Like it had that small lineup,
right?
But it's kind of a similar strategy.
God, they just have like no size though, no height.
They never have. The best they had was Boogie for that 1 year.
Yeah, that's right. Boogie didn't even play that much either.
He had to in the finals because everyone else got hurt.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Boogie was on his last leg.
No one has failed more at ring chasing than Boogie.
Yeah.
He went to the Warriors, lost that year. He went to the Lakers, like tore his Achilles during training camp of the year they went on to win. Stuff like that. Boogie just cannot ring chase to save his life. He's on the Nuggets right now. And I
didn't know that.
Yeah, he's getting the breaks beaten by the Warriors. I don't know where he can even go to ring chase. I'm surprised he's not in Brooklyn, honestly.
Yeah, I could see him going to Brooklyn. How old is he?
He's old. I think he's 30. I bet he's 35. He might not be that old. I just know he's been injured so much. Boogie Cousins is...
Hold on. 31.
Oh, wow. That's young.
Makes $16 million.
He's been in the league forever, though.
Yeah.
He's probably joined when he's 20.
So I think he went to Kentucky, I believe. Yep, he went to Kentucky.
Yep, and I think he's just been injured so much.
Poor guy.
I do actually enjoy Boogie too, despite like his antics.
He's got a good nickname.
Oh, absolutely. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know if it's one of those self-imposed ones or what.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good luck for him though, because I know he was getting a lot of the Warriors players were even talking shit to him.
That's rude.
That is rude. He's an ex-teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, after Sacramento, he just bounced around the league. New Orleans, Golden State, Houston, the Clippers, Bill. Oh, was he on the Bucks? Did he get a ring with Milwaukee? Damn it, that sucks. I kind of like the idea that he failed at ring chasing everywhere he went.
Or hold on. I don't know if he did.
Yeah, because 20 to 21 was the Lakers. 21 to 22 is the Bucks. So yep, he got one with the Bucks. I don't think he played a bit in that series. I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I don't remember Boogie playing whatsoever.
I don't either.
That finals.
He started 5 games and played 17 games for Milwaukee.
Okay, so he did not play a lot. But he probably still got a ring.
He didn't even play in the playoffs.
Oh, maybe he didn't get a ring then.
Well, he might have gotten like half a ring.
Do they do that?
I don't know.
Like you just get the bottom part.
Yeah, it doesn't stay on.
Just they give you one of the spare 2 big ones.
We're gonna give you half a ring so it doesn't stay on. Like you didn't stay on the team.
Ooh.
That's what they gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta start. That's how you gotta punish ring chasers. You give them the percentage of the ring of like how long they are on the season.
Right.
So like someone could even be on the team for 90% of the season, but they only get 90% of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one of those ones you get like a gumball machine or like a cupcake where it's on the bottom, it like clips off.
Mm-hmm. Or you cut your ring finger if you're ring chasing.
There you go. Ooh.
Your left ring finger.
You should have to do some sort of sacrifice if you want to ring chase. I think everyone would be okay with that. Like, all right, yeah, you want to ring that bad. You're willing to cut off your ring finger to do it.
Your left ring finger.
But then the team doesn't win. You're just like, all right, what the fuck, guys?
Cut your finger. Give us your finger.
Yep, 100%. All right, last 2 series, Heat versus Hawks. I think the Heat are running away with this one. Jimmy Butler went apeshit the other night. 45.
I love when people say that.
Apeshit. He went apeshit.
Yeah.
It doesn't get used nearly enough. I love using apeshit. I try and use it at least once a week.
I don't know why I laugh.
Especially just when you can throw it in so casually. Like, yeah, bro, he went apeshit. He went apeshit. It's just such a violent sounding word.
See that going crazy.
Yeah, you just imagine some gorilla going fucking ballistic.
Just going ham.
Absolutely. So
it's hilarious to me.
Jimmy Butler went fucking off. 45 points, 0 turnovers. The Hawks just seem outmatched, and the Heat also just look like they're on a mission right now.
Mm-hmm. The Heat are hot.
Yeah, it might be a Heat Warriors finals. That might be a very early prediction.
Ooh, I would love that.
I think it'd be 2 really well coached teams. I think that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I would love that.
And I think everyone kind of assumed after the bubble that the Heat were never going to make it back, that it was a bit of a fluke. So I'm enjoying seeing their resurgence a little bit.
So when what was the NBA bubble done? Was that August or September?
That was done in September of 2021.
And then the season started on time pretty much, right?
Yeah, they only had 2 months off, the people in the bubble.
So you think the Heat had like fatigue from the bubble?
I'm sure they did because the Lakers did too. The Lakers fell apart last year.
Right.
I would not be surprised at all because, yeah, they had a very short, I think they still started end of November, I think it was.
Right. So you think maybe it just took a year for like, oh my God.
Get your legs. I think that's something we slept on for sure.
Right. Because there's that one clip with Jimmy Butler just exhausted at the end of the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Or that picture.
Yeah, and I know Tyler Hero had a rough time because Tyler Hero had like his worst year ever last year, and everyone was calling him Bubble Boy,
right?
Which I didn't like because I'm a Tyler Hero fan.
Right. You seem like the type.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Jack Harlow, Tyler Hero, could sign me up.
Jack Hero. Any word that rhymes with Harlow, you love.
Pretty much. Final series to talk about: Suns versus Pelicans, which is now a little bit up in the air. Devin Booker is likely out for games 3 and 4 in New Orleans. Do you think the Pelicans can capitalize on that, or do you think the Suns are just that much better of a team?
So is the series tied?
It is 1-1 right now.
I think the Pelicans win 2 more games, but I think it goes 7 and Suns pull it off.
Yeah, I could see that. The Suns are 8-6 without Booker this year, but that's also they rested like a lot of players in those losses. Like that's when they're resting like the whole starter.
Sure.
So I think they'll be fine. I mean, fuck. I mean, this is one of the most drawn out sports takes ever, but Chris Paul in the playoffs just has such bad luck.
Right. Yeah, I just can never quite get it where he wants to be.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think the Suns still win the series because I think they're a really good team overall.
Right.
But I think it will probably go 6 or 7 now.
Yeah. And I mean, the Pelicans played great the other night.
They did. Is Zion just not going to come back?
I don't know. If this is MJ would be clawing to get back.
Okay. All right. We don't need to bring the Jordan arguments into it.
I mean, it's true, though.
We could say if it was LeBron would be clawing to get back into it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
It's just weird. I don't know what's going on in his head. Does he want to be in New Orleans? Does he want to play basketball? Is he being stopped by doctors? Like, we just know nothing about it. All we've heard is that he's being coddled by the organization a little bit and that we don't really know if they're pushing him or like they don't want to ruffle his feathers at all.
Pelicans.
Oh, that's yeah. I didn't even mean to do that, but I appreciate it.
That was good.
But yeah, it's a weird time in Smoothie King Center. I will say that. still might be one of the dorkiest stadium names out there. I can't think of one that's worse than that. Crypto.com Arena is pretty bad now too, though.
Yeah, but Crypto.com is like a little more serious tone than Smoothie King.
I don't know. Would you rather have Crypto.com or would you rather have Staples?
Oh, Staples.
Staples. I mean, we think of Staples as iconic. But think of what Staples actually is, like the brand.
Right. I don't, but it's a lot easier to say Staples than Crypto.com Arena.
They should have just done Crypto Arena.
I don't.
I don't get it. Maybe I guess they don't own the idea of crypto.
Crypto Arena would be, I'd be fine with that, but Crypto.com is just just a mouthful.
Just throw the www in at that
They
point.
should. Why don't they?
https://www.crypto.com arena. Tonight, the Lakers are facing off against the Clippers.
Yeah, it's a real LA rivalry.
Yeah. I went to Smoothie King Center when we were in New Orleans.
They have smoothies there?
They did. I got one. It was actually really good.
King of smoothies, huh?
Yeah. The seating was nice. We were actually pretty close. So I could see Zion sitting on the bench. He looked big.
Was he limping?
No, he wasn't limping. You know who Zion is? Going back to high school basketball, Zion is the person on the team who swears he's injured and just sits out like the entire season. He's like, did you guys have like a super talented kid who was just always injured and could never play?
Sort of, yeah.
But the injuries were never really that bad.
Yeah.
We had a couple of those guys in my high school where they were like always like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the league or I'm gonna go play in college, but they were always injured, just always had bad luck. Their parents are paying for them to go see really fancy doctors, just for them to tell them, oh, so what they have is an ankle sprain.
Yeah, 3rd degree ankle sprain.
Yeah, that's what Zion is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of band-aids.
Yeah, he's a lot of scars. He's been in the league for a while.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I was gonna say something. But yeah, there's like videos of like Zion dunking and stuff.
He should be slowly coming back, but they said that back in February that he was like due to come back soon. And then he said apparently he had a setback. I always wonder what those setbacks are when they say he had a setback. Like, did they fuck up in practice?
I don't know. I think it's just a convenient excuse.
Yeah.
Like, I think just I don't know. Zion's probably working with the docs like, hey, let's
push this back a little bit.
Push this back. Say I had a setback or something.
I think he's going to ask to get traded this offseason.
Might as well.
I don't think he's ever bought into New Orleans. I think
he doesn't care about winning. I don't think.
Really? You think he's a money guy?
I mean, the body language looks like it.
That's very true. He doesn't even seem excited for the team ever. He's always just sitting there.
And like they have a decent team that they make a run if Zion.
They had a great core in place. That was like the beauty of him going there because the Anthony Davis trade happened and they got all of the Lakers young stars. They had a really good. I mean, they were a great 2K team. I used them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had about as good of a situation as you could ask for a young player.
Yeah, and he just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he wanted to go to the Knicks.
Probably.
I think he like bought into that hype a little bit.
But I don't know.
That was also like 4 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I don't either. I would love. He might be the NBA player I most want like a full sit down Rachel Nichols interview with to like get to the bottom of what he's thinking. Because when was the last time we haven't seen him play since like spring of last year, if not earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't even know the last time we heard him like speak in an interview. He's been very sheltered from
I don't know
us.
what his voice sounds like either.
I don't think I do either. I feel like I've heard him talk during like the draft or something, but that feels like light years ago.
I don't think he talks.
Maybe he doesn't.
He doesn't have a voice box.
Oh man, that would be that's a minor setback right there. That's an injury that he should be sitting out for. Sprained his vocal cords.
He can't talk.
He moonlights as an opera singer, so he just loses his voice every night.
That would suck losing your voice.
Yeah. Have you ever had it happen to you before?
I think so. I had a sinus infection really bad and I lost my voice.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I used to get really bad. I had a really bad tonsil infection that would flare up every few months and I would lose it then. But I got my tonsils out for my graduation present from college, so we're all good. And now look at me. I'm on a podcast.
I'm a podcaster.
Recovered greatly. Jerrod, you think you're so cool just because you're going to Vegas this next week?
Hell yeah.
You think you're gonna be doing some cool gambling and betting on sports lines and submitting daily fantasy lineups? You think that makes you cool?
Yeah, of course it does.
Well, you know what? I can do that right here, right now with DraftKings.
Ah, damn. Of course you can.
Absolutely. DraftKings has sports lines. You can bet daily fantasy. You can bet on the upcoming NFL draft. You can bet which pick. You can do like how many over under on how many quarterbacks are taken in the first round.
The whole 9 yards.
I think the line is 1.5 right now for QBs in the first round.
Ooh, I'd hit that over.
I think so too. There always is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that. NBA playoffs are hot right now. NHL playoffs are beginning soon, I believe.
Yep.
Baseball's happening. Just there's so many sports, so many ways to get some skin in the game, so many ways to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So just head on over to DraftKings right now, guys. Get the app. It's just a blast. Just take it from me. Sports are way more fun to watch when you have some monetary interest in the game.
Exactly.
Last night I was watching the Bulls versus Bucks. Game was coming down to the wire. And I'm like, I usually wouldn't watch the rest of this game because I'm working, but I'm going to throw a little bit. And I was hooked all through overtime.
Yeah.
It's just a blast.
Exactly.
So head over to DraftKings today and just get in on the fun. Must be 21 years or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's dive into the National Football League. Woohoo. The big NFL news right now, Deebo Samuel it's not official, but he has requested a trade. He wants out. He thinks he's getting too many touches for the 49ers. Apparently, they've offered him like big contracts because everyone kind of thought it was just a contract thing. And apparently, they've offered him big contracts, but he's just said now he wants to go somewhere else.
I understand what he's saying about the touches thing.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because they use him on like
everything.
60% of their plays, probably.
Because, usually it's the opposite problem, right?
Receiver wants more touches.
More touches.
Stephon Diggs, et cetera, et cetera.
But Deebo's a special example because he's also a running back pretty much.
Yeah. And I bet those first contracts they were offering him like reflected that. I would bet those first contracts were saying, hey, due to the wear and tear on your body, like we can't really afford to pay you that much. And I'm guessing that's what happened. And he probably just felt insulted by that.
Sure.
That's why he wants out, unless there's something else we don't know about.
Yeah. And like this is all happening since Tyreek Hill, went to the Dolphins. So he probably obviously wants that sort of money.
I think so too.
Yeah. And like just be utilized as a receiver, not so much as a running back.
God, fucking talk about.
Which might be counterproductive for him though, at the end of the day. Because he's great, obviously, as like a slot motion running back.
But he gets a lot of his production. Yeah, he gets a lot of his production out of the backfield and stuff like that.
Right.
He doesn't really. I mean, he's a great receiver, but he doesn't really make his living out there.
Exactly. Like I don't think of Deebo as a route runner.
No, not at all.
As a yak guy and a short yardage guy.
Yeah, you got to imagine pretty much every team in the league is going to make a trade offer for him.
Fuck yeah. But they're going to want to use him the same way the Niners use them.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's going to be a problem. I bet every agent is going to say, all the agents are going to say, hey, you have to still do what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he shines as a route runner or whatever, but it'll be interesting to see if this is just like something if he just wants to get out of San Fran, or if this is something he's putting his foot in the ground and saying, no, I will not be used this way. It's kind of like, it reminds me of after RG3 got hurt, and his dad came out and said he's not going to be running the ball anymore. He's going to be like a pure pocket passer. It's like, I understand where you're going for. It's safer for the player, but it also like takes away from what made you special.
Right. Yeah. Like your scrambling ability is what like got teams nervous about you and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And like for Deebo, like what would be the better fit than the Niners? I feel like that's a perfect fit for him.
I think PFT commenter said like he should go to the Dolphins so he could play for a Kyle Shanahan offense or whatever. Thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
I would assume they're not going to trade him to the NFC. I would assume it's an AFC team.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I know him and Shanahan and the Patriots have a good relationship. I could maybe see that.
I could see the Chiefs maybe.
If the Chiefs did it, I don't know. Would you give him to? I mean, if you're the Niners,
that's true. You might meet him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, if you're the Niners, the Chiefs they're not in the NFC, but they're one of your biggest rivals. They're like on that same caliber of team.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Patriots, even though the Patriots just never can pull the trigger on a good receiver.
Yeah, and McDaniels being gone, it's kind of awkward.
That's true.
Yeah.
God, maybe he goes to the AFC West so they can continue that arms race. Maybe the Chargers or something.
Broncos
could actually, that wouldn't be a terrible fit. On the Broncos would work really well.
There's a few fits.
Oh, I think he fits on every team. Just a matter of,
does he fit on the Giants?
Yeah, probably. They find something to do with him, I'm sure. It's Brian Daboll now.
That is true.
We gotta go in with a clean slate a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah. Speaking of that though, I was thinking the NFL draft is a week away as of today. We're recording this on Thursday morning, and it's by far the earliest we've recorded this podcast.
Yeah. We got morning coffee here.
I don't think we've ever recorded before noon.
I think so. Usually it's like midnight or 2 a.m.
Yeah, for real. So we're a week away from the draft, and I think the draft gets slept on as a trading, trading destination, trading event. And so I wanted to play a quick game with you. I got a few players here. I'm going to list them off, and I want you to tell me if they're still on the same team a week from tomorrow or if they are somewhere else. You don't have to say where, but just if they're gone or if they're still on the team.
Sure.
All right, so starting off, Deebo Samuel. Do you think he's still a Niner this time next Friday?
Yes.
You think so? I think they're going to try and hold on to him too and make something work.
I hope something will happen after the draft. Maybe before the draft.
The thing is, after the draft, it kind of feels like the trades stop happening for a little bit. Because after the draft is when we really go into the dead of the offseason.
That's true. And that whole Tyreek trade thing, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Very fast.
So I think personally he's going to still be on the team because I think they're going to try and work something out.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anything, this goes into training camp. It goes into like a holdout situation.
Do you think it's like a kind of like a Rodgers situation? Kind of holding out for more money?
He might be. Maybe he just wants to break the market. That could be the case. Maybe the offers they've made are like on par with the other receivers. Maybe he wants more.
Yeah.
That could be the case.
Yeah. That could be that.
Yeah. All right. Baker Mayfield. Think he's still a Brown this time next Friday?
Just say yes.
Dude, I straight up, I think they're keeping him as insurance if Deshaun gets suspended.
Hey, insurance.
Yeah, I think they're keeping him as progressive insurance and they probably already filled a ton of commercials in that Brown stadium, and they're like they're trying to work out a deal with Progressive so they could like get releases with that or something. It's just not working. Like, dude, we already filmed the commeracles. It's not your fault we traded a guy.
Yeah, the CGI budget we do not have.
Yeah, it's gonna be awkward. Let's just keep him for a year. I agree though. I think they're holding on to Baker as insurance, and they're gonna just like keep him on the team until like Deshaun's able to play, which is just gonna be fucking awkward.
Like, why wouldn't you just throw some games if that's the case?
If you're Baker, I think he would. Like if you got trotted out there as a quarterback, like, hey, go win us some games, but you're gone the second this guy's ready to go.
Yeah.
And knowing Baker's mentality, I think he'd 100% do that.
Or just like hold out. I suppose you can just hold out and just wait to get released. Take the fines.
Maybe that, or maybe they're waiting for, because there's always within the first month, like a starting quarterback goes down on a pretty good team.
Yeah.
So they might just be waiting for that. Maybe they won't play him. Maybe they'll just hold him on the roster.
Because they obviously have not liked any trades for Baker.
No.
Obviously not.
I could see maybe like on draft day, the Seahawks or someone will maybe want to move up to like get him or something.
Or Carolina.
Yeah, they like want to move up in the draft, or they'll want to move down in the draft, so they'll take Baker, and the Browns will move back into the first or something. I can't imagine they get a first for Baker though. As I'm saying that,
I would not give a first for Baker.
Yeah, so maybe it's not on Thursday, but maybe it's like a late round draft trade.
7th round pick for Baker.
Like, yeah, maybe they want Mr. Irrelevant or something like that.
Oh, that'd be such an insult.
That would be a rough one. AJ Brown on the Titans.
He's gone.
You think so?
Yeah.
This time next week?
He'll be gone by next week, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That one just feels, I don't know what's going to happen to this Titans team. Feels like they kind of missed their window a little bit.
Maybe this was their year to do it.
Yeah.
He had a healthy Derrick Henry.
And they lost to the Bengals.
They lost to the Bengals. Tannehill fucked up. Yeah, I mean, this was their year to win it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Had the first seed. Yeah, those windows just open and close so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we always say that, but we never really believe it until it happens.
Yeah, it don't happen until it does.
Exactly. I got a few more for you. DK Metcalf. See, I could see a Seahawks-Browns trade of just like a Baker for DK. Straight up. I think so.
No.
Do you think DK is worth more than Baker?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I guess. I just think the Seahawks are trying so hard to clean house.
I mean, DK has a much higher ceiling than Baker.
That's true. Are we really just shitting on Baker this much at this point?
Well,
he did win Rookie of the Year. Oh, he didn't win Rookie of the Year. Never mind. Saquon did.
Well, I mean, it's just his shoulder is just, I don't know.
That is a big question mark.
Throws last year.
Yeah, that is a big question mark. His shoulder was kind of destroyed.
And we see what happened. We saw what happened with Cam Newton and his shoulder injury. I know they're not quite similar, but that's a big deal.
That is. So, do you think DK's on a different team though, or do you think he's still
this week? I think he'll still be. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
nobody knows. I would say no.
Okay. All right. I got two more. These ones are more surprising ones. Jordan Love.
I think he's on.
You think they keep? I think honestly they're just gonna keep him as a backup quarterback and just admit like, hey, we'd use a first round pick on a backup quarterback.
Yeah, we'll eat that L.
Yeah, I think they are, and it's actually not a terrible strategy because we've seen what the Packers are when Rodgers is out. They're abysmal.
Right.
At least with Jordan Love, they are still competitive. And he's cheap. And he's cheap still.
Very cheap. Yeah. I think they keep him.
Yep. And then last one, Saquon Barkley. I think we're due for one crazy draft trade, and I think Saquon Barkley might be the guy to go.
Yeah, because you got a new coaching staff in Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably like, well, we don't really want Saquon. We could probably get a third, fourth round.
And he's probably due for like a big contract soon.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to pay him.
Yeah, so I think I would not be surprised at that at all. I don't know where he would go, to a competitor maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too bad what happened to him.
Yeah, well, he's just in such a anyone on that Giants team was in such a shitty situation.
And his injury has obviously affected him.
Absolutely.
I still think I'm still a Saquon believer.
You still think he can play?
He's one of my favorite players.
Really?
Especially at Penn State. It was like
his rookie year, he was phenomenal. I remember Bill Simmons said after his rookie year that Saquon's the best running back he's ever seen.
Yeah, when Saquon's on, he's like one of the greats.
He is really good. He's a great fantasy option too.
And like seeing him play at Penn State was just amazing to watch.
Yeah.
Just a touchdown every game.
I hope he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, he needs a fresh start somewhere.
I think everyone on that Giants team does. I honestly think the Giants just need to rebrand who they are as a franchise. I'm not even crazy about the logo or the mascot.
Wow, not a tradition guy.
No, not really. I'm always down for something to change.
What, the New York Apples? What would they be?
Wall Street, maybe? The Bull? Oh, they can't do the Bulls, I guess.
The Traders?
The Traders. The Cokeheads.
The Cokeheads.
They could be the Wolves for the Wolf of Wall Street.
Nah, that's lame.
Well, yeah, probably. But what else is New York known for? The Rats?
And then they'll have the opening ceremony for the Wolves.
Ding, 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 ding.
No, Jordan Belfort will howl like a wolf.
Oh, God. Can we get Jordan Belfort off the internet?
I hate him.
Didn't he are we forgetting he scammed a shit ton of people?
Nobody cares.
And we're just okay with that?
I blame the movie, obviously the movie.
Yeah, the movie glamorized him 100%.
And I blame the song, Jordan Belfort.
I forgot about that one too.
And frat bros, obviously.
Yeah, that Jordan Belfort just has such a hold on just douchey frat guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Because I think he's a genius. Like, oh my God, he makes so much money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, dude,
even though he scammed a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah, there's nothing that inspires frat guys more than making money. They think that is the epitome of intelligence, is how much you're able to make a quick buck, even if the result is just scamming a shit ton of people.
Right.
Like anyone can scam a ton of people. That's not the know-how is not the problem. It's the fucking ethos of it.
Right, exactly. Yes, the ethics of it. Yeah. They don't understand that. And
I've never liked Jordan Belfort.
I didn't either. And they love crypto too, frat bros.
Oh yeah, but that's just because they can look at a number on a screen like, oh look, I have way more money than I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And it's very volatile, and they're fucking hopped up on Adderall.
Yeah, and they also have people who are super into crypto. Usually are people who have a safe backup plan or like parents that can back them up in case shit goes south.
Yep.
I don't think anyone on their last dollar is investing in crypto.
No.
It's completely just
it's monopoly money.
It's the rich getting richer.
It's Mickey Mouse money.
It is Mickey Mouse money.
Mickey Mouse coin.
Ironically, that Mickey plays in Crypto.com arena.
Oh,
it's all tied together. Walt Disney invented crypto. Disney World is a crypto mining facility.
It's underground. You can't see it.
Oh, that's where Walt Disney's been the last few years.
He is frozen.
So are my assets.
Oh.
Yeah, we're working on it though. Me and my banker are gonna figure it out. Tax season was rough on us.
Took an L at tax.
Took an L at tax season. We're gonna bounce back though. We are officially 1 week away from the NFL draft.
Woohoo! I'll be there, by the way.
You are, yeah. You're going to Las Vegas.
Lost wages, as I say.
Yep, you're bringing your holiday hash browns with you.
Yep.
You excited to experience the draft live in person?
I am. I've never been to an NFL draft my entire fucking life.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm excited to be a lot of people there.
I'm so glad they move it around now instead of just doing New York City.
I did like the tradition at Radio City Music Hall.
See, I'm just not a tradition guy.
I know you're not. You don't like the Giants.
Yeah.
You spit on the Giants. But yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, if you're ever going to go to one, I think Vegas is one of the better ones to go to.
Right.
Nashville a few years ago would have been cool.
Right. Direct flights, all that. So I'm super excited. I'm going to gamble my face off.
Are you going to place bets on like the draft at all? Like on picks?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably will. I usually do. There's a big sports book at my casino, so I'll probably hit that up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so take lots of pictures, take lots of videos.
Mm-hmm.
But since the draft is a week away, I wanted to talk about the best and the worst things about the NFL draft.
Okay.
We'll do the best things first. My first one, I love the ESPN chime whenever a pick comes in.
That's a good one. Fuck.
Do 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 do. I think looking back at it now, I think it's just a Pavlovian conditioning in our brain, because when you're watching the draft, it's so much just sitting around and waiting and watching that timer go off. But then it's all worth it when that sound comes on because the action is finally here.
Right. It's like we made it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It happens every 10 minutes. So it's a very like conditioned response. And they've used the same chime since like 2006, like whenever the draft got really popular.
And then you see like the pick is in. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
like get excited. You're like,
Everyone,
okay.
shut up, shut up, shut up. Even though it's going to be a text on the screen right after.
Right.
That full first round is just so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going to say the ESPN chime for my first one.
Okay. I like it. Well, I'll do my worst one right away,
Okay.
actually. I hate like the first overall pick every year. Like they know who they're going to pick, right?
We always know who
Always know
who
who you're pick. And they fucking wait until like a minute left on the clock to pick it. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to see if there's any last minute trade offers, but there never, ever, ever is.
I had that listed first as my worst things as well. How long it takes during the obvious picks. Trevor Lawrence last year should not have been taken with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
They had that pick made since September.
Yeah. They had him on the phone and everything.
Because when was the last time there was really shake up at the first overall pick? I think it was the Baker Mayfield year. I think it was the last time like we didn't know who was going to go first overall.
I think they kind of knew though.
I think they did, but I don't think we knew.
Yeah.
Because everyone thought it was going to be Darnold.
Oh God, that would have been bad.
Yeah, looking back at it. I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the two best quarterbacks of that class. And they were, I think, 2 of the last 3 chosen.
Do you want a turd or do you want a shit sandwich?
For real. So yeah, I have that too. How long the first overall pick takes.
Yeah.
That they should have to have that one in right away because they have the whole offseason. They know.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
One thing I love is Roger Goodell getting booed.
I have that. I have that as well.
Timeless as can be.
I originally had it in things I hate because I'm like, oh, it's overdone. But then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's so good for him to have to go up there and just take that L, because he usually just gets to sit in his mansion in New York and just be away from all the fans in general. Like, he has no human interaction whatsoever.
And he goes, football fans.
Yeah. The fucking watching his like the sadness in his eyes as he's like, hey, football fans, how's it going? You just tell he wants to cry, but he can't.
He has gotten better over the years. Like he kind of like
he jokes about it now.
Yeah, which is funny.
But when it first those first few years when it happened, I think it really started around Deflategate. Yeah, he's like looking around, like making sure no one's gonna snipe him.
Just gonna assassinate Roger Goodell.
Yeah, just he has to hold that L. Just the sadness in his eyes. He's like doing that fake smile. Yeah. It's like the substitute teacher getting fucking booed. Hey, football fans, it's been a long off season. Stop
booing me.
The lines are on the clock. Just get the fuck.
He like jogs off stage.
Yeah, just runs. He's like darting back and forth so he doesn't get sniped.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yep, so I have that one too. One of the other best things I have is trade alerts. I think that's more exciting than the pick is in. A trade alert. Because then you'll see like the team, you're like, oh shit, did they give up a player? Or especially when it happens and you're not sure who they're going to take, but then it just ends up being like a D lineman or something.
Right.
Fuck yeah, you do you. You trade up to get a D lineman.
And you like want the details right away when the trade happens.
Yeah,
What'd they give up? What'd they give up? Yeah.
One of the worst things I will say is going on Twitter during it, because now it's just Schefter just spoils every pick.
Right. Just get off Twitter. You don't need to be on Twitter.
I think that's what I do at this point. But like a few years ago, they would tweet like 3 picks ahead because they would just know. And now Schefter's not allowed to tweet like what pick it is. I know. I wish he wasn't allowed to tweet in general. He's not allowed to tweet what the pick is. So now he uses workarounds. He'll say he's like, the Jaguars are leaning heavily towards this player. Or
he just can't help himself.
Watch his language. He'll like literally say like leaning heavily towards or strongly considering.
Or signs are pointing to.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, because he's not allowed to say it because they banned that on TV for that reason.
Yeah, tipping picks.
Yep.
I agree. I liked it when they did that. I think it's smart.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone watches something like the draft on multiple screens these days. Like you have your laptop pulled up, you have your phone pulled up, and the TV pulled up.
Right. I remember back in the day that they would show them on the phone and then the announcers would get excited.
That was the worst. Yeah. I'm so glad they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That was just such a bad TV product. They would show it like 5 minutes left and then we're like, what are we watching the announcement for?
Right. It was very anticlimactic.
Yeah. You should be the guy, since you're going to be there live, you should be reading Schefter's Twitter feed live like out to the people.
Right.
Hey guys, I think this one's going to be Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what the next one's coming in.
Yeah.
Because that would really piss some people off, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. The last thing I had two last worst ones. The family members lurking around when the player's on the phone. That just, I don't know why, that just pisses me off. Like, they're on the phone and the entire family's just standing around them smiling like like looking up at the camera. Also, there's always...
What would you do?
I don't know what I would do. See, again, I spend so much time just hating on things I don't understand. But there's also always a family member who doesn't know how to act on TV. Like, there might be a little kid who walks in front of the camera like while the player's on the phone, or like a mom or dad who's like awkwardly looking into the camera because you can just tell they're not on camera ever.
Right. They don't have any TV training.
Yeah. So they're like, look at the player, and then they'll like make eye contact with the camera for like a little too long or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think these families need to be trained a little more.
Right. They need more TV media training.
And again, this might just be me being bitter, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I had for worst was any pick after the top 15. I usually lose interest around then.
Well,
it depends on when your team. Yeah, if you have a team that's picking still. And I do enjoy. Always tune back in at the last 5 picks of the first round because there's usually someone will trade up to get a quarterback.
Right.
That's pretty commonplace.
But there usually is like an interesting prospect that falls. Like,
that's true. It all depends on the year.
Like Lamar Jackson, right?
Exactly.
Aaron Rodgers, another example.
Yeah.
It just depends on if
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, that was interesting. It just depends on like if there's anybody interesting left.
Yeah.
Or has any good stories.
100%. It all depends on the year. Did you have any other ones that we haven't mentioned?
One thing I hate, and this is pretty cliche, but like when ESPN, I think 2 years ago, they like got into like their most tragic part of the player.
Oh, yeah.
Like their story. Like got in a car accident when he was 12 or something, or had a family member died. It just like really brought the mood down for the entire...
They're trying to be uplifting, but it always just ends up you're bringing up the guy's worst part of his life during what should be the best part of his life.
Right, yeah. It's just, they're like Disneyfying it. It was just like, I don't know. You don't need that. Just give me the fucking picks.
Yeah, just tell me what his fucking vertical was. I don't need to hear about his parents that are dead.
Right, like that's whatever.
I can see his parents are dead. They're not there. They're not there crowding around him on the phone.
Yeah, you don't have to bum us out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really rough one. I think they've finally started to tone back on that because they've just gotten made fun of so much.
And that was during COVID, like the peak of COVID. So it's like
when we're all already that was like a month into COVID. We're already all depressed and gloom as can be. And like, you know what could really help unite this nation?
Trey Wingo saying bad things.
Yeah, Trey Wingo roasting this kid for having dead parents.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very tone deaf by them.
Well, fuck, ESPN being tone deaf. Who would have ever imagined that happening?
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm really excited for the draft. I'm excited you're going to be there. We will do a pre-draft special. We're going to try and figure it out because Jerrod and I, for the first time, are going to be in separate places next week. So I think we're going to do some sort of remote podcast.
Yep.
Pre-draft special. It'll be a fun time. Jerrod will do a lot of content. I won't say a lot of content. You're on vacation.
Yeah, I'll do some stories, eat some hash browns.
Yeah, he'll do some stories, eat some hash browns, do some gambling, make some money.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a fun time. I'll be in Wisconsin. Ooh. I still don't know what I'm doing there.
It'll be fun.
It'll be a good time.
Wisconsin's beautiful this time of year.
Oh, yeah. Hope we stop by the Dells. I'm gonna bring my trunks just in case.
My tees.
so I could go down the water slide. But it'll be a fun time.
Your swimming trunks fall off down the water slide.
That's happened to me before.
No way.
They've gone down to my knees at least.
So your dick was hanging out?
I was a little kid.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't quantify it as a dick at that age. I'd say it's more of a wiener.
Stub.
Yeah, a stub. But it came out for sure. And I was just like struggling to pull it back on, like because I knew there was girls at the bottom of the water slide.
Oh man.
I got them, but I think they at least saw some butt because I like rolled over onto my tummy.
Yeah. That's understandable, but it's funny as an adult if that happened to you.
Oh, I just got new trunks too. I haven't tried them on. It might happen.
Make sure they're
tied
tight.
Yeah, it'll be a rough one. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the Wisconsin Dells. Have a great weekend. I'm really cheering for the Nets because I don't want Kevin Durant to get eliminated this early.
I think it might happen.
I think it will too, but we'll see. Have a great weekend, y'all.
See ya.